Alright, so in this problem, I have 2 to the power of x minus 3 to the power of y is equal to 7. So I want to find the values of x and y. So for my solution, if I have something in the form 2 to the power of x minus 3 to the power of y is equal to 7, I'm going to rewrite 7 as 4 plus 3. So now I have 2 to the power of x minus 3 to the power of y is equal to 4 plus 3. And the reason I did this was because 4 is the same thing as 2 squared. So now I get 2 squared plus 3. And notice how I have something in the form 2 to the power of number minus 3 to the power of number is equal to 2 to the power of number, and I also have 3 to the power of 1. Now from here, I'm going to group the powers of 2 together and group the powers of 3 together. So I'm going to subtract 2 squared on both sides. So I get 2 to the power of x minus 2 squared minus 3 to the power of y is equal to 3. And then I'm going to add 3 to the power of y on both sides. So then these two cancel out, and I get 2 to the power of x minus 2 squared is equal to 3 to the power of y plus 3. Now, for my left-hand side, I'm going to factor out 2 squared. So, actually, instead, I should say I'm going to divide by 2 squared. So, 2 to the power of x divided by 2 squared is equal to, well, if I have something in the form a to the power of m over a to the power of n, this is equal to a to the power of m minus n. So that's the same thing as 2 to the power of x minus 2. And then I have this minus 2 squared divided by 2 squared is 1. And now this is equal to, from on this side, I'm going to divide by 3. So I have 3 times 3 to the power of y divided by 3. 3 is the same thing as 3 to the power of 1. So I get 3 to the power of y minus 1. And then 3 divided by 3 is equal to 1. So I get plus 1. Now from here, if I have something in the form a to the power of m times a to the power of n, this is equal to a to the power of m plus n. So 2 squared times 2 to the power of x minus 2, this is equal to 2 to the power of 2 plus x minus 2, and these two, and 2 and negative 2 cancel out, so I just get 2 to the power of x. So 2 squared times 2 to the power of x minus 2 is 2 to the power of x, and I have 2 squared times negative 1, which is negative 2 squared, and this is equal to 3 to the power of y plus 3. So I'm just checking if we distributed, or sorry, if we factored out right, and it looks like we did. So now going back here, let me rewrite this. I have 2 squared times 2 to the power of x minus 2 minus 1 is equal to 3 times 1 plus 3 to the power of y minus 1. And notice how 2 squared, that's equal to 4, is an even number, and 2 to the power of x minus 2, well, 2 to the power of any number is even, and an even number minus 1 is going to be odd. So we have an even number times an odd number is equal to 3 is an odd number, times 3 to the power of any number is an odd number, plus an odd number plus 1 is an even number. So you have an even number times an odd number is equal to an odd number times an even number. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the odd numbers equal to each other, and then the even numbers equal to each other. So this gives me two equations. I get 2 squared is equal to 1 plus 3 to the power of y minus 1. And I also have 2 to the power of x minus 2 minus 1 is equal to 3. So let's first start with this equation. this is going to equal 4 is equal to 1 plus 3 to the power of y minus 1, and this means that 3 is equal to 3 to the power of y minus 1, meaning y is equal to 2. So the value of y is 2. Now for 2 to the power of x minus 2 minus 1 equals 3, I'm going to first start by adding 1 on both sides. So I get 2 to the power of x minus 2 is equal to 4. And now 4 is the same thing as 2 squared, so I get 2 to the power of x minus 2 is equal to 2 squared. And this means that x minus 2 is equal to 2. And if I add 2 on both sides, these two cancel out, and I get x is equal to 2 plus 2, which is 4. So my solution is x equals 4, and y is equal to 2. Alright, so in this equation, I have 2 to the power of x squared over 4 to the power of x is equal to 16. So I want to find the value of x here. So for my solution, I'm going to start by rewriting 4 as 2 squared and 16 as 2 to the power of 4 so that all my terms are in powers of 2. So I get 2 to the power of x squared over 2 squared to the power of x is equal to 2 to the power of 4. Now from here, if I have something in the form a to the power of m to the power of n, this is equal to a to the power of m times n. So 2 to the power of 2 to the power of x, I can rewrite that as 4 to the power of x, which is equal to 2 to the power of 4. And, oops, sorry, this is not 4 to the power of x, this is actually 2 to the power of 2x, which is equal to 2 to the power of 4. And now from here, if I have something in the form a to the power of m over a to the power of n, this is equal to a to the power of m minus n. So in this case, m is x squared and n is 2x, so I get 2 to the power of x squared minus 2x is equal to 2 to the power of 4. Now, if I have something in the form a to the power of m is equal to a to the power of n, this means that m is equal to n. So in this case, m is x squared minus 2x and n is 4, so I get x squared minus 2x is equal to 4. And now if I subtract 4 on both sides, these two cancel out, and I get x squared minus 2x minus 4 is equal to 0. Now from here, to solve this, I'm going to use the quadratic formula, which is negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So in this case, a is equal to 1, b is equal to negative 2, and c is equal to negative 4. So I get x is equal to negative of negative 2 plus or minus the square root of b squared, so negative 2 squared, which is 4, minus 4 times a, which is 1, times c, which is negative 4, all over 2a, so 2 times 1. And this is equal to positive 2 plus or minus the square root of 4 minus 4 times 1 times negative 4, which is 4 plus 16 over 2. And this is equal to 2 plus or minus the square root of 20 over 2. Now, we can actually simplify this. The square root of 20 is the same thing as the square root of 5 times 4, which we can rewrite as the square root of 5 times the square root of 4. And the square root of 4 is equal to 2, so this is equal to 2 root 5. So now I get x is equal to 2 plus or minus 2 root 5 over 2. And now if I divide both these terms by 2, I get x is equal to 1 plus or minus the square root of 5.